Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, flotsam, jetsam, and galactic octopuses. The drop-off area has delivered to us today another of its droppings. Today, we have the Noon, as it's known in China, ZEN. It's, Noon is QKZ, but I prefer the Noon ZEN. Have you had your Noon ZEN? I think I've had my Noon ZEN today. It sounds like something you do, you know what I mean? It sounds like a little, our Noon ZEN. So, let's see if it brings a little more Zen to our lives. We've got ourselves the product name, which is the Noon ZEN. The frequency is a monster on the Zen, 20 to 40 kilohertz. And that's the most important thing. A 16 ohm impedance and a sensitivity of 105 decibels. This beautifully colorful box, this beautifully colorful day. Let's see what's inside. Seems. Enjoy music, enjoy life. Noon, hear everything. Those are commands, so you should do them. That's how it works. I want to hear the everything. And we are visited with separate ear guides. So those are free roaming ear guides, and if you have other wires that don't have ear guides, now you can trade these off to those. And now for the piece de resistance. We're all here for the main event of the evening. If I can actually get my fingers to work. Okay, there we go. With a small amount of violence, hide your children. We have managed to reveal the buds themselves. Very nice cable, actually. Some black and silver, black and gray, whatever you like to call it. Has a little bit of retention to it, but it doesn't seem to be an entire squirrely mess. Came nicely rotary wrapped, and it came with extra ear tips. As for the buds themselves, we've got a starry purple on blue design. Oh, starry, starry night, the colors are blue and purple. Got a big giant Z on them. And they seem to be, they have very deep tubes for your ears, so you can get some depth on that. You can see right through them to all the bits and bobs and such. And let me see if I can get these together. We'll pause for a second and get back to you. We got your bag of tips over here. Jimmy, bag of tips over here. You know what I'm saying? What we got in your bag of tips over here? You got your typical tips. If I can get my big fat meaty fingers in here. Do not wear 6X gloves and play with this size of bag, Okay, here we go. We've managed to open said bag, and now we're going to try to extract the contents. You got your typical tips, 2 extra pairs. I assume the medium's here, but we also have ourselves a clip, which is unusual. So we got the extra ear guides, even though they have the retention wire here, and got ourselves a clip. So you can address putting your microphone wherever you need it. So you can hook this in here. Well, if you can get it to not circulate, you can try and attempt to hook your wire in there. It's not the simplest thing to do, by the way. Let it damage it. Okay. Wow, this is more difficult than it looks like it is. You know how a clip works. It's kind of clip on my face. It's not that big a deal. The real big deal here, build quality. Got yourself a 90 there. They gave you a nice prophylactic tip. Everybody likes a nice prophylactic tip. Safe listening out there. Move the same prophylactic tip. I can't say that many times. And what do you have? Decent, very hard, not rubbery. So it's hard plastic. That might be a failure point in the future. And you got brass rung. This is not gold. You can tell just by looking at it. Insertion points and wires. But again, we go with what's in the box. We don't get it fancy. And to the device. So we're going to use the device as we always do to keep everything fair and level, serendipitous. We're going to go to our favorite location, which is the use tubes. Where have I put the use tubes? Here's the use tubes. Use tubes. I come to the use tubes. Get our favorite video. loaded for bear here. This is how they're going to look in your head. And, you know, anybody who knows me knows I love purple. I'm on Team Purple all day. Can't walk around in it, though, because at my size, you just look like a giant grape waiting to explode. That's how it happens. All right, fellas, what are we going to do? We're going to enjoy the dulcet sounds of Charlie Hunter. Interesting. For once, the bass is given equal weight with everything else in the mix. I have a feeling that because these tend to come out of Asia, and Asians tend to listen to a lot of J-pop, they tend to listen to a lot of classical music, they intentionally turn down bass. And when I mean turn down bass, I mean they don't make the bass equally loud to the listener as the mids and the highs. If all three things are present, you're actually going to hear the mids forward anyway because of the size of your eardrum, naturally. But I think people do a lot to overemphasize that. These are very smooth, very well blended. They're not janky. And pound for pound, they punch way up above their $5 price point. There's no way that you can complain about these for what you paid for them. These are stocking stuffers for definite. I mean, there's no argument here. If these cost $20, $25, it'd still be worth it. So, I mean, you just have to go on that. They're super clean. They have a little bit of depth to them, too. The sound stage isn't wide, but it's wider than a club, not the size of a stadium. I'd give it to, a very well set up surround sound system. I'm actually enjoying these. They don't seem to put any pressure on me unduly. I mean, they're light. I can barely feel them. They resolve really nicely. Dynamics are here. You got clarity, punch. The reason I use this track all the time is because it uses a vibraphone as one of the featured instruments. It's got bass, vibraphone, guitar, and drums, and congas. And everything has its own distinct pocket. It's definitely, there's no doubt. If you're even thinking about buying these, buy them. It's $5. You're not gonna, you could lose these 100 times and still buy the new ones and be happy. There's no risk here. This is not, there's separation even in the lower end. I can distinctly hear the difference between what the bass and the drums are doing. It's soft because it's smooth, but there's still adequate separation to hear the batter of the kick drum versus the bass drum versus the bass guitar. Very nice, very nice. So, I mean, initial impression, I haven't had time to burn them in or look at anything, but these are a winner. Yeah, $5. These are major go, major. Just go. Do not pass go. Just go. And then, obviously, because I'm me and we're us and you're you and you're here, we have to do the thing you've all been waiting for, which is the shakeage test. Maximum shakeage, no loss. Right out of the box. That's pretty good. Came out a little bit, but exactly at the bone seal. But these are going to be great for the gym, great for working out. They're disposable. They got a great cable. Bro, can't fail. QKZ Zens. There's no videos on these things anywhere, so I decided to make one. The QKZ Zen, $5 champ. Go out there and listen to somebody else's art.